go, pick it up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go.
It's about to be a lit day today.
Hey, let's get back to our swagger, come on.
All of them get the dough down.
That is the juggernaut.
All right, welcome back inside the festive TCO studios. My name is Gabe Henderson alongside Ben Leber and our guest of the night, again, for the third time, Kendricks. How you doing, man?
I'm back. What's up?
He can't stay away from us.
You can't get away from us.
I know. He loves it here.
He does, and I feel like it's because of you and I that he comes back. It's like,
Well, yeah, it's not because of the set. It's certainly not because of the guys behind the camera.
Let's get into the show because we always start this thing out with a trivia question. And I feel like you should know this, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Wait a minute, you got a different trivia question than I do.
Oh, we're not using that one this week.
Hey.
On the fly.
Hey.
That's funny.
Production, hello. Like,
Hey,
I mean, who's running this thing here?
our production guys, Curly Hewers, Brian Rogers, Jesse Mark.
I'm trying not to like throw them under the bus, like name-wise.
I was saying they do a phenomenal job. I'll take the blame for the production cars this week because I added in an extra one probably 20 minutes before the show and I put it in your stack. So I'll take the blame for that.
Thank you.
I like taking accountability. And this is one I'll take live. So we got the cameras rolling and we're just gonna get into the trivia question.
Yeah.
Who is the Vikings all-time leader in tackles?
I just talked about this the other day. Is Studwell second or is he first? I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
All
right.
right, cool. And I know that is Chad Greenway second?
Nope.
No, someone else is second and Chad's third.
Chad is fourth.
Fourth? Dang.
Yeah.
I know that like I remember in college when I got to UCLA, I was like, I looked up the record and I was like, I'm gonna beat the record. Beat the record. I got here and I was like doing the same thing, like, you know what? I'm gonna beat the record. Like, yeah, like, and then I looked at his and I was like, whoa. That's a lot of tackles.
Bro, you
it's
know
like
how many
1,700, right?
No, 1,900.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous.
But like, is that even possible?
It is.
I mean, like in today, clearly it's possible. But like in today's game, like, is that possible to
You gotta play a lot of years.
I think the craziest part of his stats, because we have it broken down here, he has 1,928 total tackles. He has 1,266 solo tackles.
It's beastie. That's enough for like a really great career right there. 1,200.
Yeah, that's like HOF.
It's beastie.
I think I had 40 or something in my career. That was like a long ways away.
I mean, you're only what?
It'd be like Santa's list if like to find me on the all-time tackle list, like just roll out the scroll because there I'm at the bottom.
Shout out to Chad though too. I mean that's pretty difficult too, man.
So Chad is fourth on the list. Huge shout out to Chad.
1,300?
13.
Yeah, he had 1334.
You want to go through the other three?
Yeah, we have Matt Blair,
That's what I was thinking.
1404, Jeff Seaman, 1375, and then Carl Eller as a defensive lineman, 5th, 1118. That's a lot.
Did you have a relationship with Scott Studwell? Like, have you talked to him a few times before?
I talked to him a few times in the building and stuff.
Like, what is the conversation like? Just understand. I mean, he probably scouted you, so like he knows.
No, but it wasn't ever like from a place where it was like, I was a former linebacker here, like. You're a linebacker, you're here.
Son.
You need to listen to me. No, it was just like real friendly, like normal interaction. Didn't know, I knew like, I seen like him up on the facility and him on the walls and stuff like that. But I never put two and two together until like, probably like my second year when I was like, oh yeah, like he's in the building. Like he's still, like
that's a real person.
He's around us. Yeah, he's around us. Like, I was just, didn't know anything, but
like he's human.
It's cool, man. Like he never like, it was always just like a friendly relationship, like what's up, and I like that.
One thing, I mean, we've had you on 3 times, but one topic that we've never talked about is like what you do off the field. Like your Be the Change video that you just did. Like we know you're very involved and we want to have a conversation, at least before the break, about this video that was just posted on Vikings.com about your unconscious bias Be the Change video.
So my story is on unconscious bias.
Unconscious bias is basically like preferences, or it could be discrimination based on thoughts you have that are unconscious. You don't really think about them. So I've known about unconscious bias, but this off season, I had weekly meetings with professors, with Anthony as well, and we went into more depth about it, and we had one specific day that was dedicated to unconscious bias. So here's my story involving unconscious bias. I go to work out. I'm working out. It's probably 7 a.m. It's a 1 hour lift. I'm out of there by 8. We have our virtual meetings in the off season, so I gotta kind of rush home kind of quickly to get back for virtual meetings. But I look down at my gas tank and I'm out of gas, so I gotta stop for gas. It's 8 a.m. People are starting to head to work, whatnot. I pull into this gas station. Gas station's relatively empty. I start filling up my gas tank. When I'm filling up my gas tank, I'm the only one at all the pumps. And as I'm filling it up, a car pulls into the gas station. Now the car is filled with 4 people who look just like me. And I kind of look over, kind of have a look, and I'm like, what are these people up to, kind of thing, as they pull up at the gas pump right next to me. And originally I felt like, I had to stop because there were so many other pumps that were available, but they kind of picked the one that was next to me. As soon as I start to have these kind of like feelings, these kind of emotions, and as soon as I look at them, the passenger just gets out of the car, and he points at me. He's like, "Hey man, I like your shoes." And he just points to the ground, and we start having this conversation about how the LeBrons I was wearing came out when we were in high school, and it's a real friendly conversation. We start smiling, giggling, and go about our day, talk about various things, and then we go about our way. And as soon as I got in the car, I sat there and realized, even though me and this guy had a friendly interaction, me and this whole car full of people who looked just like me had this friendly interaction, initially when they pulled up, I had this kind of uneasy feeling because of maybe events that have taken place in my life, maybe stories I've heard from other people, maybe, TV shows that I've watched, music I've listened to. There's all types of factors that come into play when we're talking about unconscious bias. And it's not really, it's not conscious, it's unconscious. It's something that you don't really think about. So me having those feelings and me actually having this conversation with the people and it being two totally opposite things, I then begin to realize that, dang, that was my unconscious bias. And as soon as I recognized it, I told myself to resist it. I feel like when we talk about these things and when these things come up in conversation, your quick reaction is to say, "Hey, I'm not racist," or I'm not prejudiced. I don't have these kind of feelings. I don't feel this way. When in reality, we all do. I'm sitting here saying that I'm having these same feelings with people who look just like me, but in reality, we all have them, and we need to resist them when they come up and acknowledge them versus just letting them pass by and not acknowledging them. So, I hope you guys enjoy my story. This is me trying to be vulnerable with you guys and just helping us all understand that we all have these unconscious bias, but we all need to, work against them and acknowledge them.
So after watching that video, it's a really unique story. I know, unconscious bias is a big thing and that goes on in the world, but what were like just some takeaways from that?
It's not partial to anybody really, everybody has their own biases depending on, tons of things that happen, whether, it's experiences in your life, movies you watch, things like that. I mean, it says it in the video, but like we all have these kind of, these unconscious bias, and when they come up and you can recognize them, it's important for you to, try to resist them or, at least recognize them so that's a bias of yours, Everybody's not perfect, you know what I mean? But in order to start making change and, teach the little ones, to recognize these things as well, we got to recognize them within ourselves.
I watched that video and I think it's true, and I think it makes everybody sort of self-reflect on themselves because we're all guilty of it. I mean, you openly admit that, but like there's a part of me too when I have to put myself into like maybe my wife's situation or her shoes or maybe my daughter's shoes, and like there probably is a time or place where, hey, I'd rather have you err on the side of caution and maybe hold a little bit of unconscious bias, whether it's right or wrong, and maybe that gets you out of a sticky situation. You remove yourself before anything gets out of hand. Like,
no, like you said, some of these things are just like, it's completely unconscious. Like you said, it's like, if I feel like I'm in imminent danger, at that moment, I'm going to react accordingly. But there's some situations where that's not the case, and you may react that way,
right.
and you come to find out that that's not the case at all. Then that's when it's up to you to realize, dang, maybe I was overreacting. How could I change that situation? Is it? What are the reasons why I was thinking like that? How, like, you know what I mean? And go from there. But yeah, I mean, I feel what you're saying. You know what I mean? But like, it's something that we deal with on day to day.
I think it's a testament of self-awareness of like, how do I feel in this situation? Understanding the energy. Ben and I were talking before, like, I mean, I wear a polo, I wear jeans, but when I walk downtown Minneapolis with my brother who has dreads, like, I see people clenching their purses or locking their doors, and it's just like, man, like I didn't do anything, but actually having the conversation. That's why I think this video is great, because it shows that, like, if we have this conversation and are self-aware enough to say, like, okay, I was wrong in this situation and I can be better, and being better can make this society better. I think that's what it's all about.
No doubt, and I agree. And like I said, it was just meant to bring up conversation and self-reflection, like you mentioned. Because it's something that I learned and I went through immediately, and I kind of just checked on myself, so I wanted to share with everybody else.
Well, we gotta end this segment. EK, you're staying around after the break, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna talk some football after that.
All right, sounds good.
We'll be right back with more from Eric Kendricks on The Audible, presented by Verizon.
Let's go, bring it up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go.
It's about to be a lit day today.
Hey, let's get back to our swagger, come on.
All of them get the dough down.
That is the juggernaut.
All right, we're back inside the TCO studios for another edition of The Audible. Eric Kendricks is here, Ben Leber is here. My name is Gabe Henderson. EK, this is the part of the show, that we talk about football. Detroit Lions game coming up. But before we get to this upcoming matchup, Week 13, I just need to get your thoughts just on this season thus far.
It's been a grind. Honestly, it's been just straight head down, working hard, meetings, practice, obviously, games, just grinding every time. Winning in the NFL is not easy by any means. We've been a part of some really close games. Can go either way, but here we are. So it's just continuing that grind and beating Detroit.
Is this the most games in a season that have gone down to the wire that you've ever been a part of?
The most stressful season?
The most stressful,
absolutely.
yes. I mean,
absolutely. Not only for me, but apparently for my family as well, and everybody who, watches the games because of me, because I hear about it every week, we're grinding. We're
can you believe that we're already in December, though?
It's wild.
I mean, isn't it wild?
That's what I was like asking someone today, like, wait, how many games do we have left? Like, what's our, what's the standings? Because we've just been like.
Yeah.
But I think to that point, I feel like if this is a teaching moment, right? To this point, it tells us to enjoy the process, right? Because this is not the season that we've wanted. We still got playoff picture. Like, the playoff picture is still alive, but the fact that you just said we're in December, it shows that, like, man, this thing goes by so quick. So while we are,
in the moment,
like, let's appreciate it too.
I agree with that. I love that you said that, because you're right. We do need to be present in the moment. Can't think too far ahead. Definitely can't think in the past, but we got to be right here, right now with Detroit. And I love that you said that, because that's been my exact mindset today coming into work.
What's your favorite, outside of game day, what's your favorite day of the week during the season?
During the season? I like a Friday.
Like all polished up, got the game plan in.
You're feeling, let me tell you, I'll explain it from why I like
Please.
Friday. Friday, the game plan and everything, you've been watching film for a couple of days, you're starting to get real comfortable with the game plan. You have a little short practice. Your body's probably feeling a lot better than it did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you're starting to get your body back. You're starting to get the game plan down. You have a half-day practice. I get my acupuncture and my massage, so I'm really starting to get dialed in. Enjoy a nice little dinner. A little bit slower of a day. Not a day off, but yeah, and then the next day, Saturday, so you think you're just kind of like, okay, the next day's the game. It's kind of the last time you can kind of like really turn your mind completely off, as far as like before you go to bed and stuff like that, I guess.
So Saturday, so Friday's your best day, and then Saturday it's like, okay.
You said besides Sunday, right? What's
Yeah.
my favorite
I said
day
besides,
Sunday?
yeah, besides.
Cool.
Besides Sunday,
All right,
yeah,
just
yeah,
making sure.
Yep.
But I know one thing that you don't like about Sundays is night games. So how excited are you to play a noon game on Sunday?
It's a noon game?
This week is noon.
I'm with that.
See how present he is? See? Yeah.
I'm really, I embody
man.
it. Everyone's like, who do you play next week? I'm like, shoot, I have no idea
a noon
sometimes.
game?
I have no idea what time's your game? You tell me. I show up.
Well, we better tell him that he's playing
the
on
day
Thursday
before,
night.
I'm looking at the
following
schedule.
day. Like you need to get your mind right for the Thursday night.
The day
game.
I just look, yeah, I mean,
That's a good point.
Like I think that's fine when it's week to week, but when you've got the short week
gotta
next
know a
to
little
that,
bit.
you got to know a little bit. So I'll let your mind go there for just a hot second.
But knowing that, right? Knowing that you got to get a win, but you got to recover really quickly. Like, does anything change in the process for you as far as how you get your body back? I'm here. He said he's here.
I've been doing this, man. I've been doing this. I have a routine that I fall back on, which is amazing. I have a great team of people who help work on me, get me right, and I'm just gonna rely on myself and them.
As a middle linebacker, right? What do you pride yourself on most as a middle linebacker, and why?
So last game there was a play where 71 on the tackle. Trent Richardson.
Yep, Trent
Williams.
Right? Trent Williams.
Yeah.
See, I'm so bad at football, guys. I know numbers. Trent Williams.
You're not
sorry.
bad at football.
No disrespect at all. Anyway, Trent Williams. It was a play. He was blocking me, and I was like, "Man, can't you leave me alone?" And he was just like, "I can't because you're always in the right place." He told me that on the field, and I was just like, I am, huh? Like,
Yeah.
I kind of find myself around this field that we call, a football field. So yeah, I pride myself on just being around the ball. How about that? I don't necessarily, if I'm not on it, if I'm not making a tackle, I'm somewhere around it.
That compliment has to mean a lot.
It meant a lot at the time because I was just like, okay, that makes sense. Why you
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it makes sense.
I can just like picture in my mind, like after the whistle blows, you're like, man, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
No, it wasn't that. It was just like, man,
I know, I'm just saying,
Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
like just
It was like, leave me alone, man.
just mentally maybe just having that break of just, I know you wouldn't actually pat him on the back, you're like, man, appreciate that.
No, it was some smiling involved for sure. But
If you were to, let's stay on that same line. If you were to kind of dissect and you get to pick apart sort of the best attributes from maybe some of the players, and now this might be a bad question because you didn't know Trent Williams was 71 and all that stuff. But
I knew 71.
Yeah,
I knew his name
yeah.
was Trent, but the last name was that was where it was blurry.
But if
I was
you-
just kind of like tippy-toeing, like, maybe don't know what I'm talking about without saying it.
71. Trent. Yeah.
I was like waiting for you guys to say it, and I was like, okay, I got
yeah,
to
the Williams.
I mean, he's good. He might be one of the best left tackles in the league.
he's really good. He's really good.
If you could Frankenstein like the best middle linebacker, like what attributes from who would you take from? Like, and it doesn't have to be like current players. It can be like, Singletary's intensity, or or like Sayal's energy, or something like that.
No, I'll do. That's really hard.
Maybe like playing a run versus playing like covers linebacker versus.
I'll take my hands. We'll do my hands.
Yeah, you got good hands.
We'll do that just because I don't want to just do my whole self.
Yeah.
Obviously.
hair.
Just copy and paste what me. No, but we'll do Darius Leonard on the fumbles.
Oh, yeah.
He's ridiculous at that.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it. We'll do Bobby Wagner as I've seen these on Instagram, and it's kind of like you do Bobby Wagner as the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll just do him as the I guess the knowledge, because he has the most experience, one of the most experienced in the game. He's been doing it. We'll do that. And who's fast as hell?
Levante
There's a lot of
David.
fast backers.
Levante David's pretty fast.
Patrick Queen.
Patrick Queen. Those are some young bucks.
White's fast too. Devin White.
Devin White. Yeah, I was
fast
just gonna
too.
say- yeah, he's super
And
fast.
we'll do one leg Devin White and one leg Deion Jones. How about that? They're both hella fast. They're both.
This is a
they're
true
both fast.
Frankenstein player, isn't
They're
it?
both super fast. We'll do.
Is there a player that comes to mind when you think of like someone has like the pop, that explosion,
Yeah,
like strength?
I mean, The names is like, this is my guy too. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name right now. From the Bears, 58. How am I forgetting?
Roquan Smith?
Roquan Smith.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
I mean,
I was thinking-
I feel
yeah.
so bad. Like, this is my guy right here.
Yeah.
Raquan Smith. Yeah, he's a baller, man.
I
Straight
figured you'd say,
baller.
He is a baller.
So I'll
You
say
said,
run stop, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just crafty. He's just a good football
glad you
player.
brought him up.
He's so underrated, by the way,
Yeah.
too. He's so good.
Now you're trying to make up for it. Now you're trying to
No,
make
no,
up
no,
for
I'm not. That's my guy.
I figured you'd say like Ray
That's my
Lewis,
guy.
Pop.
I'm going all like current.
Current guys? Okay, I respect that.
I'll kind of stick with that.
I respect that.
But I mean, I can keep going, but like, I'm not.
I think we got the gist. of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Going back to the point of like you being in the right place at the right time, as far as respect around the league, like that's got to be a sense of like, man, like I'm doing something right, then I'm starting to get respected. Like teams got a game plan for me now versus when we're playing another team, like the middle linebacker isn't the person that we're always, okay, we got to account for this guy.
Yeah, I feel like I feel that a lot for sure. I feel a lot of respect in the league, and I guess at the end of the day, you know, I play for myself. You know, I enjoy the game, but you know, definitely play for the respect too. You know, from your peers in the locker room and you know the people around the league for sure.
I think the coolest thing that you guys do now that I was never a part of is the jersey swaps. I think that to me is like, I know that there's boys that you have on the other team, but like, I think it's the ultimate show of respect when like you go up to somebody and you may not be boys or have a history, but like, man, I'd love to have your jersey just because you respect that player. Like, has that happened to you either like somebody that you didn't know came up and asked for your jersey or you vice versa went up to somebody and said,
Speaking of Roquan, me and Roquan switched jerseys. Me and Fred Warner switched jerseys. Me and
yeah, Fred
Darius
Warner's
Leonard
he's a good player too.
we switched jerseys. Denzel Perriman. I got a lot of cool backers, man. Cam Jordan, Marvin Jones. You know, Marvin Jones and Cam Jordan, those two jerseys, like, those are really cool for me to have because my brother went to Cal with them. So it was like I kind of grew up in high school watching those two, all three of them, you know, but just ball out and grind and try to make it to the next level. So it's like when I got that Marvin Jones jersey, when I got that Cam Jordan jersey, it was like damn, this is where we are now, you know, versus you know back then. So it's pretty cool.
Got to get a win on Sunday.
Do
Last question, how do we do that?
man.
I know your answer.
Guess what?
I know your answer. I knew it was coming.
Okay, so check this out. If we hold them to less points than what we score, technically we
Wait, let me write this down. What formula is it? Is it A squared plus?
If the Vikings have to score more points than Detroit, and then we get the win.
Well, we got to get a victory on Sunday, Vikings fans, and it's going to take a big effort from my guy EK from over here, and I know he's going to have a big game on Sunday, so I'm excited for you, man. Thank you for joining us.
Wait, what did you say? You said 4 interceptions you're going to get?
Take care, everybody.